everybody? It's your boy Steve from the Watch Corner, and today we're going to be doing the Long Island Monster ISL 58 review on the fully luminous dial. So I'm excited about this. I've been having some great time with having it on my wrist, and thank you, Mark, for loaning it out to my channel. I appreciate it so much. So we're going to go ahead and do this, but at the end, after I do my review, the two pressing questions that everyone wants to know from me is, number one, do I recommend the Long Island Monster? And number two, do I recommend the Long Island Monster over the Seiko Monster? When we get done the review, we're going to flip the camera back over this way and I will answer those questions because I want the camera to be on me while I'm answering it. You all know I'm passionate about watches. You know I'm passionate about my Seiko Monsters. I'm a Seiko fanboy, a Seiko Monster fanboy, whatever you want to call it, but I am. So we'll go ahead and get this camera flipped over this way. Let's start the review. Okay, before we get started, wristwatch check. I have the 1997 Seiko Kinetic gold tone on this funky vintage bracelet. It's stock, but yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm trying to get better at doing these wristwatch checks in the beginning. I get so excited about that doing my reviews. But there you have it. So yeah, we'll go ahead and talk about this here. I'm going to get the specs out of the way. The movement in it is the NH36 Seiko automatic, 24 joules, 21,600 vibrations per hour. Case is stainless steel, 42 millimeter. Thickness from crystal to the case back is 13 millimeters. Tip to tip, 47 millimeters. Case back is engraved, which I do want to show, with Long Island on it, which is really cool. It has a picture of Long Island on it, and I think that's really cool. Screw down case back. Bracelets, solid stainless steel with solid end links. And again, you have the milled deployment clasp. Now, there is no diver's extension on this. I asked Mark about why he didn't want to go with it, and he just didn't want to go with it. And I think it does add an expense to the watch too. But it is nice that it has the, get here in focus, the screw pin links, which is very nice. Easy to size. 200 meters water resistant. You have a 1-year warranty. The crystal is a double dome sapphire with the AR coating. The dial is fully luminous with C3 Luminova. The bezel is stainless steel with Super Luminova on the markings, which is a very cool feature to this watch. And like I said, this bracelet is awesome. And you do have the screw-in pins, and Mark does supply the screwdriver when you order this watch, which is very, very cool. My time with this watch, with this movement, okay, this is my first NH36 movement. I'm used to the 4R36 movement, but in a 7-day period, it only gained 50 seconds, which is definitely very good. So I was happy with the timing on it. Now, the first thing I want to say is this does have flavor of the first generation Seiko Monster because it has the number markings underneath the indices, just like the first generation Monster does. But mainly, it's more the flavor of the second generation, because like the knurling on the crown, that's the second gen Seiko Monster has that. I do like the lume on the bezel, and I'm bad at doing these. It's 120 click. See if you can hear it, I'll be quiet. Smooth. Lining it up on camera is kind of a pain. But there you have that. And if you notice, the triangle lines up with the indice at the 12 o'clock perfect. Now, we'll get back to this, but if you look at the 35 marking, the indice on the bezel don't line up with the markings on the dial. Same with that there. At the 50 to 55. Slightly off on the 5. I mean, they're off. They definitely are off. That's the only QC issue that I've noticed with this watch. Other than that, I mean, it's great. It's the only thing. But you know something? I think it must be really difficult. And here, we'll turn this around again. Make sure we have this lined up. I think it's difficult for companies to do this, to get that straight. Because, you know, Seiko Monsters are the same way with getting them lined up. So I love the bracelet. Honestly, with having the middle clasp, it feels like it adds a little bit more weight to it than the Seiko Monster that has, you know, the press clasp. I got to get a scale one for my channel. And I promise, guys, the next few videos I will do that, definitely, so we can get a weight on this. I should have had my watchmaker Tony weigh it, but I didn't have the extra links. When this came to me, it had 2 links out of it. I believe this might be Mark's personal watch, and I had to remove 1 link, and it was very, very easy to do with the screwdriver provided. I didn't realize that Mark actually gave the screwdriver out, so I asked him, I don't see him on your website, do you sell them? And he told me that when you buy this Islander Monster, he includes it in, which is very, very cool. Now, this one currently is out of stock. I signed up to get the email for when it does come back in stock, because I really am interested in this one. I told Mark when he sent this out to me, I'm like, hook, line, and sinker, LOL. I emailed him. I like this one a lot. With that luminous dial, it's really sweet. You guys saw in the beginning of the intro how sweet that is, especially with the luminous bezel. It's been a pleasure, you know, having this watch to wear. And it is very nice with this bracelet. Again, the pin and collar system on the Seikos sucks so bad. I'm just so glad he went with the screw pins. And it's only a screw pin on the one side. You have those other companies that do the double screw pins. You need 2 screwdrivers and you have to balance it right. And it's a nightmare. So this is a well done job of constructing this watch. Kudos to Mark. This is my first homage and my first, in basically to the channel. And I mean, Mark made a believer out of me with the Islander, and this is the only Islander I've physically had in my hands, and I can't wait to get some more in from him to review on the channel. So now we get to the good, the bad, and the ugly, okay? The good, obviously, is it's super, super awesome having the luminous bezel. I love the luminous dial. I love the jet black handset, the hour, minute, and second hand, and the jet black indices, and then the numbers down below the indices. You saw in this shot with it, fully loomed in the beginning, it shows off everything great with this jet black. I mean, absolutely stunning job with that. The bezel smooth rotation. I love the bracelet. You can't never go wrong with a milled bracelet. I mean, the milled clasp. Never, ever. And I love the touch of having Long Island etched into, there we go, having it etched into the case back. And it says Islander, 200 meters, sapphire, Island watch. I love that. I'm glad he, kept, I like the knurling on the crown. It's the 2nd generation Seiko flavor there. Really, really nice. You can't go wrong with the AR double dome sapphire crystal. To me, personally, when you're out in the sun, it just adds an element of depth to the dial that I really, really like a lot. The only thing I can say for the bad, there's not an ugly on this. For me, the bad would be the QC issue on the bezel markings not lining up with the indices on all the markers. The one thing that I don't like, and this is just a personal opinion for the bad, is I don't like having the numbers underneath the indice. I wish that they would have been left off just to see more of this beautiful luminous dial. And I absolutely love the Islander logo underneath the 12 o'clock. But that basically are the two bads for me. There is no ugly on this watch. Mark did a phenomenal job on this watch. I'm very impressed. He made a believer out of me with this watch. I do want to add a few Islander monsters to my collection. Like I said, he loaned this into the channel. I do not get to keep this, but I signed up for the email when this one comes in. I want to add this one for sure to my collection. And I'm not sure of the other ones. I at least want to get 2 of these to start. And I mean, also for the good is sizing the bracelet. You can do it on your own. Like I said, there's no ugly to this. So now I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera around. And we're going to talk about the 2 questions that I said in the beginning of the video. Guys, so here we are back to the front of the camera. So the 2 questions. Number 1, do I recommend Mark's Islander Monster? Absolutely, 100%. It's upgraded over the Seiko Monster with the milled clasp, the screw-in pins. Gotta love the luminous dial and the luminous markers on the bezel. Absolutely. I'm definitely adding one of these to my collection. And I just wanted to mention, yes, the other flavor of the 2nd generation Monster is its hand winding and hacking. I didn't mention that when we had the camera turned around. So that's the flavor of the 2nd generation Seiko Monster, because the first one, you have to shake it. It doesn't have hand winding or hacking. And this particular one is $2.99. The other ones are $2.79, and I'm assuming the little bit more the price difference is because of the luminous full dial. So now the second question is, would I recommend Mark's Long Island Monster over the Seiko Monster? I'm going to say no, and I'm going to explain my opinion why. Number 1 is that the Seiko Monster, the 1st gen and the 3rd gen, the prices just keep going up and up and up and up and up and up, and they're not going to stop going up. You know, so because of that, they're highly collectible. The Seiko Monster came out in the year 2000, okay? So they're 21 years old now, the 1st gen, so they're just going up and up in price. I know in the UK it's ridiculous to get a 1st generation Monster. Here in the US, they're going between $349 and $399. And if you find the new one, you know, new old stock is going for over $1,000. So the prices will continue to go up on them. To me personally, the original is always better than the remake. That's my number 2 reason. Number 3, obviously, I am a Seiko fanboy, a Seiko Monster fanboy. So I would always recommend getting a Seiko Monster first. Now, I would say if you don't have any monsters at all, I'd recommend to start getting one of Mark's because of the price point. You can get them $279 to $299. You try doing that for a 1st or 2nd generation Seiko Monster? Absolutely not. If you try to get a new one, like I said, it's over $1,000. So for me personally, I prefer the original over the remake as far as I can't recommend, because of me and my obsession with collecting Seiko Monsters, I can't recommend the Islander over the Seiko Monster, but I absolutely love the Islander Monster. And yes, I am going to get a box. I'm going to get a watch box that's going to have Islanders only in it. I'm very impressed, and you know, I really did enjoy having the time with the watch. And thank you again, Mark. I appreciate it. So yes, I'm not going to recommend the Islander Monster over the Seiko Monster. And stay tuned, because we're still going to be doing the head-to-head battle with the Islander versus the Seiko 2nd Gen Monster. So we're still going to do that. That's going to be coming up shortly. So just make sure you stay tuned for that to see what me and my neighbor Mike grade these, because we're going to shoot it live, just non-scripted. We're just going to do it with the camera on us, and we're both going to score each watch in all the categories that we come up with. And I can tell you that the time-lapse loom battle will blow you away. I'll give you a little snippet now. So please remember, time is short. Let someone you care about know how much you love them today. And as always, please like, give me the thumbs up, subscribe if you're not. And I appreciate every single one of you that are subscribed to my channel. And I promise you that I will do my absolute best on every video to keep improving my quality. I've only been around since March, and it's only going to keep getting better and better. And thank you so much for your comments, your encouragement, your feedback, and for watching my videos. I appreciate it, and I hope everyone has a wonderful evening.